Good evening, everybody. I'm Kath Lloyd, and this is Let's Talk. And I realise that it's not Wednesday, it's Tuesday, but for family reasons, for the next few weeks, I'm having to move it to Tuesday because I realised that I didn't speak to you last week, I don't think, with being busy. But sometimes the busy has to be done to reach deadlines that are really important to help other people to get on with living their normal. So I do apologise for last week. Anyway, this week we're going to be talking about happiness. Now, I sort of heard about Gretchen Rubin's, but I hadn't really read any of her books, and I hadn't heard her speak until I was on a long haul flight at Easter, and I sat myself down and I listened to a whole series of podcasts, and on one of the episodes was Gretchen Rubin speaking about her book called The Happiness Project. Sorry, it's the wrong way around. But if you've been on my Facebook, you will have seen that I've posted it and said what an interesting book it is, because basically, that is where I am wanting to support people in helping people be more happy, because isn't that what we want, to be more happy, and to find out the best that we can be, but also to keep the happiness alive in our lives so that we feel fulfilled and we feel content. And what Gretchen Rubin talks about is, are we only happy if we think we're happy, and are we only unhappy if we think we're unhappy, which is a really good thing to think about, because like I've spoken before and so many other people have spoken about before, is feelings breed feelings, don't they? Thought processes breed other thought processes. And so, like I've talked about many times before, is if you only focus on the negative, or mostly on the negative, you're going to see more negative. And if you focus on the positive, then you're going to see more of the positive. And this is the same thing, is, what are you connecting with within yourselves? And, the research has been done that the happiest we are is, or what makes us most happy is about social bonding. So it's about our relationships, not just with, our partners, our parents, our kids, our siblings, but also, our friendships groups. And it's about, not possession of friendship. I mean, that's what Gretchen talks about, but it's about the closeness and the long-term relationships. Because if you think about our lives, we have a lot of relationships, coming and going, some more fleetingly than others. Some of them are, work-related relationships, but how many, I think for most people you could count on one hand the really close relationships you have got with people other than, your parents, your kids, your partner. I know I know a lot of people, but only a small minority of those people are exceptionally close to me. And close relationships are about trust, aren't they? Respect. It's about being able to open up and be your true self with them, and them with you as well. And that is what, a good social bonding is about, isn't it? It's about a two-way open relationship with open conversations where you can discuss things that you might not be able to discuss with so many other people. And so this means that it's about confiding in other people, and this is really, really important when you are going through a tough time. When the shit hits the fan, it's who do you turn to when you want to discuss all of that stuff that is going on, and somebody who will give you who will listen to you, who will give you good sound advice, who understands you and will be able to help support you in the best way that you can. And these good social bondings, they give you so much joy in life, don't you? Because you've got that connectivity, you've got that importance of social belonging with that person, and with that comes, be it about boosting your immune system, it cuts down depression, and it also helps with loneliness, because if you're feeling lonely, and you hear a lot of people say, I'm around people all day long, but I feel lonely. And that is to me, a really, really sad position to be in life, that even though you've got a lot of people around you, that you haven't got that connectivity with somebody that will, help bring you the joy that you need. And, and so this is why it's really important to think about your happiness in a bigger concept, because happiness is a combination of external factors and internal factors, isn't it? So it's about what other people are doing around you to make you happy. It might be to do with the weather, to do with your holidays, but ultimately it's how we create that external external connection to upgrade our internal feelings about our happiness. So what is it, this is really, really important now, is what is it that you want to be different about your happiness levels? And yeah, everybody's life is slightly different. We're all going through slightly different stuff. And yes, what is going on in our family and in our environment is all going to have an impact on us. But it's then about how you process that and how you can work with it. And this is what I do when I'm working with my clients, is how are you going to work with what you've got? And ultimately, the people who I work with are the people who are fed up with what they've got, and they are looking at finding the missing link to put the jigsaw together to get back to the happiness that they want, or to grow a new happiness. Okay, and what Gretchen Rubin talks about is, it's about understanding yourself, isn't it? Understanding what makes you feel good. Because if you know what makes you feel good, you can work towards getting it, can't you? But as well, it's really important to understand what makes you feel bad, what makes you angry, what makes you frustrated, what irritates you, what makes you poorly, so that you can work to move away from it. But also, what was interesting was she also talks about is what makes you feel right. Now, this is really connecting with your values in life. So, you hear a lot of people moaning about their job, moaning about their relationships, moaning about the cat not behaving, or the dog not behaving, or the kids playing up, isn't it? But, ultimately it's about what makes you feel right. So how are you going to challenge these external factors that are interfering with your happiness so that you can feel right about it? And this is really about working with your values in the right way. So with your kids, are you going to lash out? Are you going to shout at them? Or are you going to work with them and their personalities to help them be happier? Because if the people around you are happier, then you're going to be happier, and vice versa. If you're happier, the other people who are in your lives are also going to be happy as well, because it all links up, doesn't it? And I think a lot of the time, I don't think we go through our life and we're trying our best to keep on the straight and narrow, to keep the balance, to keep everything trotting along smoothly, and we can easily forget our connectivity with our thoughts, our feelings, how we're behaving, what other people are picking up from us, which then has a knock-on effect to them, and vice versa. So, you know, it's about understanding your own happiness levels, what makes you happy, because then that spreads onto other people. How do you want to help other people be happy? Then how are you managing your day-to-day life with your family, with your friends, to help get the best for everybody, so you've got a happy family? And most of the time, I think most families are happy, but like with anything in life, we have our ups and downs, don't we? You know, nothing is a straight run. We have our ups and downs, we have our little niggles, we have our arguments, but it's about trying to create that balance again to get the right happiness level, so that we can run smoothly and we can enjoy our relationships, not only with other people, but our relationships within ourselves as well. Because that's really important, isn't it? If you've got a good relationship with yourself, if you understand yourself, if you have good self-talk, yeah, and you are connecting what's going on here with what's going on in here, then you are at a huge advantage than if you are, you know, quarrelling with yourself, quarrelling with your thought processes, and really challenging yourself in a negative way. Then that is going to have a knock-on effect with your relationships. So it's about, does your life reflect your values? But first of all, you've got to know your values. You've got to know what's important to you. And it isn't just about your secondary values, these are your core values. Yeah, so your core values are what you get from your secondary values. Okay. And then it is about your growth, your own personal growth. Do you know where you want to be growing to? What you want to explore? How you want to expand it? How you want to expand your life? Because, you know, if we're bored, if we're stagnant, that is going to cause anxiety and stress. And this is why, you know, there's a lot of anxiety and stress amongst the long-term unemployed, because boredom creates anxiety. Not knowing where you're going will create anxiety. If you are so caught up in the troubles of your own life, it is difficult. You become so involved with just what's going on in here, it's difficult to see what is out there and what is available to you. And so this is why it's really important to, once you are understanding yourself, understanding your feelings, is understanding where you want to be going, so that you can explore that and you can start taking action and working towards that, because that will develop a deeper and more long-term happiness level for you, because you are building yourself not just personally but perhaps professionally as well, and finding out more things about yourself, learning about yourself, which is always an insight. And I think we will never totally understand the depths of our knowledge, the depths of our energy levels, the depths of the challenges that we can put ourselves through, because I think there's a lot more to us than we give ourselves credit for. So hi, I just want to say hello everybody for coming on. It's really nice to see everybody. So the first thing is about what makes you feel happy. Try and pinpoint what makes you feel happy. And it isn't just, the big stuff. It isn't about peace to all. well, it is peace to all men and stop war and, you know, stop suffering. And yes, we all want that, but it's about the little things as well that touch us deep in our hearts. Like, you know, perhaps being able to hug your friend, hug your partner, hug your kids, be able to sit and enjoy a meal together, or just sit and watch a nice TV program together. These are just things that are coming off the top of my head. All right, what makes you happy? Really, really important. And then, of course, what makes you feel bad? So you've got the moving towards and the moving away, so you can understand it. And then what makes you feel right? At ease with yourself, at one with yourself, so that then you can grow to where you want to grow to. So, I'm sorry, everything's moving because I'm getting a bit enthusiastic. So, I'm going to love you and leave you there. Work on those 3 questions because they're very, very important questions. And if you want to talk about them further, you know where I am. I say I do a 20-minute free chat over the phone, but more often than not it lasts a lot longer than that, and we can arrange that. That is what I'm here for, to help you find your right way to better happiness levels. So I look forward to speaking to you next week. Next week is going to be a Tuesday again, because it's busy family stuff next Wednesday as well. So have a good week. Think about your happiness levels, where you want to be going to, where you want to be moving away from, and what feels right to you. Have a great evening, have a great week, and I look forward to speaking to you next week. Bye bye now.